Let us be perfectly clear about one thing regarding Lulu and her current state of mind. The rage that is currently building inside of her has absolutely nothing to do with any lingering romantic feelings for Valentin. That ship sailed, sank, and rests at the bottom of the harbor a very long time ago. As a legacy character, Lulu has evolved far beyond the naive girl who once fell for manipulative charms. What is driving her toward the edge of madness is the profound, suffocating weight of betrayal. For months, she has been walking around Port Charles, utterly clueless, while the people she should have been able to trust the most were making an absolute fool out of her. Character integrity is something I hold very dear, and the writers are correctly portraying Lulu as a woman who values honesty above all else, especially when it comes to the safety and well-being of her children. To learn that she has been kept in the dark is a massive insult to her intelligence and her maternal instincts. The visual of that passionate reunion kiss in the hospital parking lot is the exact catalyst needed to shatter Lulu and her entire reality. Imagine the psychological impact of that single, devastating moment. Lulu stands there, watching Carly and Valentin embrace, and suddenly, every missing puzzle piece aggressively snaps into place. It is not just about the romance. The kiss is the physical manifestation of months of elaborate, calculated lies. In that split second, Lulu realizes that the fugitive who caused so much terror and uncertainty was not hiding in some remote European safe house. He was living comfortably in the attic of her own cousin. The sheer audacity of Carly to stand there, locking lips with the man who has brought so much chaos to their family, is a visual trigger that would push any rational woman past her breaking point. For Lulu, the kiss is a glaring neon sign that screams she has been played for an absolute fool by her own flesh and blood. But the betrayal does not stop with Carly, and that is where the true heartbreak lies. The knife twists exponentially deeper when Lulu realizes the role her own daughter played in this grand deception. Charlotte, an innocent young girl, was essentially weaponized as a secret keeper. Lulu will inevitably connect the dots, realizing that Charlotte was sneaking around, visiting the house, and carrying the massive, soul-crushing burden of hiding her fugitive father. This is a double betrayal of the highest order. Not only did Carly orchestrate this massive cover-up, but she also allowed a child to be dragged into a dangerous web of international espionage. As a mother myself, I can tell you that nothing ignites a woman's fury faster than discovering her child has been manipulated and forced to carry adult secrets. Lulu's anger will not just be about the lie, it will be about the profound emotional abuse inflicted upon Charlotte in the name of protecting a criminal. This brings me to the fundamental issue of character integrity when it comes to Carly. Has she evolved since her tumultuous arrival decades ago? In some ways, yes, but at her core, Carly still operates under the dangerous delusion that she knows what is best for everyone. She justifies her deceit by wrapping it in the guise of love or protection. She likely convinced herself that hiding Valentin was the only way to protect Charlotte and her fragile heart, completely ignoring the catastrophic collateral damage her lies would cause. When Lulu confronts her, Carly will undoubtedly stand her ground, jutting her chin out in that classic defiant fashion, refusing to apologize for following her heart. But this is not a victimless crime. Carly's arrogance in thinking she could manage a fugitive without consequence is a glaring testament to her inability to foresee the destructive ripple effects of her selfish choices. I fully expect this mounting tension to boil over into a violent physical confrontation. The history of this show is built on iconic, explosive showdowns between powerful women. When Lulu marches over to Carly, the verbal warfare will be nothing short of spectacular. Lulu will unleash decades of righteous indignation, tearing into Carly for her hypocrisy and her reckless disregard for Charlotte and her mental health. Carly, never one to back down from a fight, will fire back with equal venom, defending her choices and her new romance. The argument will escalate rapidly, moving from sharp words to raw, unbridled emotion. In a moment of pure, blinding fury, I can easily see Lulu losing her composure entirely and delivering a resounding, echoing slap across Carly and her face. It would be a slap fueled by months of deception, a physical manifestation of a mother's rage, and a demand for respect. And this is precisely where the ultimate tragedy will strike. Valentin is a man governed by deep, often uncontrollable impulses when it comes to the women he claims to love. Throughout his history on the show, whenever someone he views as his property or his partner is threatened, his darkest instincts take over. Seeing Lulu strike Carly will trigger an immediate, violent protective response. Valentin will not stop to consider the context, nor will he care about Lulu and her completely justified anger. In his mind, Carly is his current savior, his romantic partner, and the woman who risked absolutely everything to hide him from the authorities. His intervention will not be a calm attempt to de escalate the situation. It will be a forceful, aggressive move to eliminate the physical threat to Carly. I predict that in the heat of this chaotic, adrenaline fueled moment, Valentin will physically insert himself between the two women. If Lulu attempts to lunge at Carly again, or even if she just stands her ground screaming, Valentin will lash out. He will push Lulu, perhaps not intending to kill her, but with enough forceful, blind anger to send her stumbling backward. We have seen this trope play out brilliantly in past storylines. A momentary loss of control leading to a devastating, life-altering fall. Lulu will hit the ground, her head striking the hard pavement of the parking lot with a sickening thud. The absolute silence that follows will be the defining moment of this entire storyline. As Lulu lies there unconscious, bleeding, and slipping into a critical condition, the horrifying reality of what Valentin has just done will wash over everyone present. The absolute irony of this situation is staggering and brilliant from a writing perspective. Valentin has just spent months living like a trapped rat in an attic, constantly looking over his shoulder, terrified of the authorities. He finally secures his freedom thanks to a miraculous deal brokered by Jocelyn and Z. He is handed a clean slate, a rare chance to walk the streets of Port Charles as a completely free man. And within moments of tasting that freedom, his violent temper will rip it all away. If Lulu ends up in a coma or critical condition, Valentin will face immediate arrest for aggravated assault or attempted murder. The WSB might have cleared his past crimes, but the local police will not hesitate to lock him up for attacking a beloved legacy character. His hard-won freedom will vanish in the blink of an eye, but the legal consequences pale in comparison to the emotional devastation this will inflict upon Charlotte. This young girl has been the emotional anchor of this entire storyline. She carried the agonizing weight of her father's secret, lying to her mother, sneaking around, and living in a constant state of severe anxiety. She did it all because she fiercely loves her father and wanted to keep him safe from harm. She hoped that once he was free, their family could find some semblance of peace. Instead, her reward for her unwavering loyalty will be witnessing her father brutally attack her mother. The psychological trauma of seeing Lulu unconscious and bleeding, knowing that Valentin is the direct cause, will shatter Charlotte and her world completely. The child who tried so hard to protect her father will realize that he is the very monster everyone always warned her about. This event will mark the permanent, irreversible destruction of the bond between Valentin and Charlotte. For years, we have watched Valentin try to prove that he is better than his dark heritage, using his love for Charlotte as his ultimate redemption arc. But this violent act will prove that the curse of generational trauma is inescapable. He is now perpetuating the cycle of violence upon the mother of his child. I do not believe Charlotte will ever be able to forgive him for this unforgivable transgression. The tragic irony is that the secret she kept to save their relationship will be the exact catalyst that destroys it forever. Valentin will lose the one person who gave his life true meaning, and he will have absolutely no one to blame but himself. From a long-term storytelling perspective, this sets the stage for a phenomenal decade of gripping television drama. If Lulu is left fighting between life and death, the entire landscape of Port Charles will violently shift. Dante and Rocco will be devastated, fueling a new generation of intense hatred. Laura will have to face the horrific reality that her daughter was nearly killed by a man she has tried to understand and tolerate for years. Sonny, who already warned Carly about reuniting with Valentin, will feel completely vindicated and may take matters into his own hands to ensure Valentin pays the ultimate price. This single push in a parking lot will reignite a family war with a ferocity we have not seen since the 1990s. It is the kind of sweeping, interconnected narrative that makes soap operas the greatest form of serialized storytelling in the world. As I sit back and reflect on this impending tragedy, I find myself filled with a profound sense of anticipation. It is heartbreaking to think of Lulu suffering, and it is devastating to watch a young girl like Charlotte lose her innocence in such a brutal, public manner. Yet, this is exactly why we invest our time and our hearts into these characters year after year, decade after decade. We watch to see the consequences of human frailty, to witness the devastating impact of secrets, and to see if redemption is ever truly possible. While the current writers are taking us down a very dark and painful path, they are honoring the rich, complex history of these legacy families. No matter how much the plot twists, or how many tears are shed, my dedication to this show remains as steadfast as ever. I will be watching every single day, waiting to see if love can survive the ruins.